All right, what is up, Clay Nation holders, fans, fanatics? Let's get right into it. I figured that we'll start on Discord because there's some good alpha, some good news on Discord, and I think if you're staking your Cardano, um, I think there's a stat like 70% of people who own Cardano are actually staking it, and if you're a Clay Nation holder, you can use the best of both worlds of Cardano, I guess, staking and Clay Nation as well, and here's why. So if you go on their Discord, they have a channel, and this is also on Twitter. I'll share that later. But point is, you get extra incentives for joining Clay Nation's stake pool. So of course you get what, like 4.6% on average for every what epoch, or I think not every. I guess you do, yeah. So you get an average return of 4.6% on average, I think. And they're saying that you get 5%. And let's kind of read off what they're saying on Discord. So they have a pledge of 100,000 ADA. The pool margin is 2%, and the fixed fee is 350 ADA. That's kind of like what you see from other pool holders in in Cardano or in ADA in general, right? But here's the added benefit that you get from actually staking your ADA with Clay Nation, and this is why I think it's another good reason why this is um, such a good Cardano NFT, right? In my opinion, definitely a top three Cardano NFT. And if you want to compare it with other NFTs across, Solana and Ethereum, it'll be very hard to compare that because, again, there's so many projects. And I'm not gonna lie, Clay Nation was my very first NFT, and I was so focused on them that I was like, oh wow, like this is the one, this is the best project ever, and that was because the reason why I thought about that was because I was so fixated on Clay Nation, but in reality, there's other cool projects too. But when we talk about the Cardano ecosystem, then this is definitely top three, no doubt. So, what do you get in return? So number one, you support Clay Nation, and if you support the Clay Nation and the project as a whole, as a community, as a utility, you're going to get a lot more because you're going to have more revenue to reinvest in your business. And I'm talking about the group here. So the Clay Nation group, the team, they're going to have more money to reinvest in the business, reinvest in the NFT project, which means more benefits for you potentially, right? That's first and foremost. But what are the long term benefits for the Clay holders who are staking in this pool? So again, you don't have to do this. You can stake in other pools. I haven't done this yet. I haven't gone staking with the Clay Nation pool. I've been on another one, so I might have to change that. But one of the cool things is that you do have eligibility to win prizes, right? So for example, this is what they said on Discord. Of the 2% margin, 1% will be devoted to Clay Nation and Good Charlotte and Clay Nation NFT giveaways to delegators, right? You don't need to hold a Clay to be eligible to win these prizes. This is a good opportunity to join the fam if you haven't been able to already. So again, you don't have to be a Clay Nation holder, but if you do devote to Clay Nation and their pool, then there's an opportunity, there's a chance that you can win a prize. I mean, that's better than not winning any prizes or getting the chance to win a prize. So if you're gonna get, I guess, the average 5% return um, on investment, the average return by just staking your Cardano or ADA, why not do it with this if you're a fan of Clay Nation, and on top of that, get an extra added incentive via the prizes. And there might be some cool things along the way too. Like who knows, like airdrops. I think they've done that, or other projects have done that, where if you're in like an OG uh, stake, if you staked with them like in the back when they first started, then I think you would have gotten like free airdrops, which is really darn cool. Same thing is kind of said on Twitter, but I want to emphasize this really cool thing. So we all know that back in December, back in January, they had um, in Times Square the big old, you know, advertisement, the big old billboard. And that was because they're supposed to have like a bus campaign in London, but that didn't go through because they didn't raise enough funds, unfortunately. But they do plan on going back to that at some point. But they pivoted to having that huge billboard in New York City, which is awesome. That they actually had an event as well in New York City. That was on a Thursday, I believe, in New York City as well, I think, and it went very well. I didn't go to it, but supposedly a lot of people had fun. And guess what? In Las Vegas, from October 8th to October 9th of 2022, they're gonna have an event. They're sponsoring the cNFTcon. That's gonna be so much fun. It's gonna be in the Las Vegas Convention Center. It's gonna be on a weekend. I think that's a Saturday and a Sunday. And the first 5,000 buyers get a special edition clay Buffy bot, which is this fella right here. Looks a little cute. So it's gonna be really cool. Of course, TNFTs, they're really popping off. I think especially with the noise with Pavia. It's kind of like the central end, but for Cardano and ADA. So it's really cool. And there might be some things going on with the CNFTs with Pavia. Like you might have to own some land, and hey, this might be a really cool opportunity. So I think this would be a lot of fun. I guess each ticket is 60 ADA, which right now is like $60 because right now we're going through a bear market, I think, maybe. Right now things are red. But 60 ADA is going to be in Las Vegas, Nevada. It's going to be on a weekend, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. You might see me there, to be honest. So that'll be really cool. Now let's talk about the floor price, like always. So the floor price actually went up 1,400. Previously, it was rock hard at 950, 1,000 ADA. But because I think of you kind of have to compensate because the price of ADA has been going down. Like before, it was like $1.54, $1.26. Now it's like $1.09. It still kind of compensates for the USD floor price, if that makes sense. So previously it was like 1,000 ADA, now it's at 1,400 ADA, which is about the same floor price, I think, in terms of USD. But hey, like it's still pretty consistent. Months back I remember it was pretty darn volatile, whereas Clay Nation or no SpaceBudz was like rock steady at 3,500 as the floor price, and Clay Nation was all over the place. But that was because it was a very new project. So let's see. So again, floor price 1,400. Let's see the most recent sales. That should be fun. That should be fun. Recently sold. There's one sold. Again, today's the 24th of January. One was sold for 1,969 ADA, and the other one was 1,499 ADA. These are pretty regular ones. They're not like green or blue skins. Those are phenomenal. I love those. And this one right here sold for 1,474 ADA today. Rank not the highest, but hey, like why not? Like people are panic selling, so it can be a great opportunity to buy. Where can I find this floor price though? Oh, it might be somewhere else. But yes, great opportunity to buy potentially. And there hasn't been a lot of news. Again, I think it was a couple months back when they made that clay paper. They went off about all these things that they're doing. And if you go on their Discord and their Twitter, they're like actively talking about their progress with the Clayverse. It was going to be like a virtual reality / augmented reality world. And that's going to be really cool once that really is in existence for the community to use as a whole. There might be a beta version, and then eventually, we're going to be completely submersed in the Clayverse. And it's going to be really cool to have that because we've been having physical events, some virtual events, but it's going to be really cool once it's really mature into the market with the Clayverse. And I guess all these other NFTs are waiting for that as well. You see that with Ethereum, a lot of big projects are getting the land, they're getting parcels on, the Decentraland Sandbox, and that's because you're going to use that space to cultivate their community, right? To kind of amplify it. So that pretty much concludes the end of the episode. Not too much with Clay Nation. Again, the team is small. They're still building their Clayverse, and they're spitting out a lot of content. Join their Discord. That's where the magic happens, and Twitter as well. So hopefully you enjoyed this episode. And until next time, thank you, everyone.